So let's continue here with an example. Again, not an example from the text, just one I am, developing with you here on the fly. So what we're going to do is develop a program that takes a number from the operator. So that means we have to get something from the user. That's what taking anything from the operator means. That number has to be between 1 and 10, and it tells the user if the number is larger or smaller than 5. So let's just go with this problem the way it is. We have it set up. So first and foremost, we have to name our module something. Now I'm just going to call this 5 Finder because I didn't come up with a name for it beforehand, and it seems like as good a name as anything. So what we are going to do first, if you look at the description we have here, so it takes a number from the operator between 1 and 10. So that's the first thing that we have to deal with here. So inside of our code block, what we are going to do, and remember, if this belongs inside of our code block, we do have to indent so that, as you can see here, the left side of line number 5 for module is all the way to the left. The left side of end for the end of our module is all the way to the left, but the left side of display and all of our code is going to be indented 1 inside of that module, and that is a standard practice. So what we want to do is have a good interaction with our user, and the way we do that is to tell the user what it is that they should be expecting. So with our display, we are telling the user that this program will take a number from the user between 1 and 10 and tell the user if it is greater than or less than 5. So if we've made a display to the user, what we want to do now is prompt them. So again, is there any real huge difference between display and prompt? No. Display and prompt are going to do exactly the same thing. They are going to output to the screen whatever text or image or whatever it is that you have there. The big difference between display and prompt is going to be the meaning that it conveys to the next developer in the chain. A display indicates that there is no interaction happening there, whereas a prompt indicates that there is going to be an interaction. So we are going to prompt the user to enter a number here on line number 8, and on line number 9 we are going to get that number. So what we need is a selection structure, right? We need to take that number, so for us that is called very acutely number. Just a note here, if you'll notice when I highlight number on line number 9, you'll notice number 8 on lines number 8, 7, and 2, that the word number is highlighted as well. This is one of those advantages that using Sublime Text gives you, is it automatically highlights the name of in this case, it's our variable that we're using. So what we want to do is select. We want to make a decision based on that number. So what that's going to look like is as follows. Let me get these in the correct, there we go, tab order for you. So what we see here is the selection structure for simple selection. And again, you can see this on page 36 is simple selection. So what are some things of note to notice about our simple selection statement? First and foremost, there are an even count of the following: if, else, and end if. So if is the start of our selection structure there. So if starts that. Else provides us with a secondary condition. So if number is greater than 5, that's happening right here on line number 11. This is testing for our first condition. So number is greater than 5. Line number 12 is going to happen. We are going to display number is greater than 5. Else means that this is every other condition that happens. So if a number is not greater than 5, it is in fact less than 5. So in the case that line number 11 fails. Line number 13 is going to pick up, the flow of the program. So if line number 11 evaluates as false, it's going to say, is number greater than 5? And if the case is no, it's not greater than 5. Line number 13 and line number 14 subsequently is going to fire, and it's going to display to you that the number is less than 5. So what does this mean? I'm just going to clean this up a little bit, and you'll notice we have the end if here on line 15. So there's a one-to-one. There is one if for an else and a and if statement. So this is what is known as simple selection. We have an alternative between two cases, essentially. In this, the number can either be greater than 5 or it can be less than 5. There are no other alternatives, and this is what that would look like. And you'll notice on lines 12 and 14, we have indented those essentially commands, right, that belong to that statement. This way, it is the most easily formatted for the next developer in the chain to see. Okay, we go in through this if statement here. This on line 13 is our alternative action, and everything comes to a close here on line number 15, and we are done with our selection.